As we continue to pore over the 51,000 emails that the governor's office released, we are continuing to find nuggets of stories and information. And one email that I'm focusing on at this point is one that was sent to the governor's office. In fact, it was a letter that was sent to the governor's office from the Attorney General's office that recommended that she consider the aspects of the federal lawsuit that he had filed when she was making her decision on whether or not to establish a healthcare exchange. This was in November 2012, and Attorney General Scott Pruitt told Governor Fallin in this letter that that if she were to go ahead and pursue a state-based exchange, then he would be forced to dismiss his lawsuit. It was apparent in the emails that were released that the governor's staff was not very happy with this. Denise Northrup, her chief of staff, sent an email to Glenn Coffey, who was Secretary of State at the time, and said that it appeared Pruitt's letter was political and self-serving, and Glenn Coffey emailed her back and said that he agreed. We've been exploring this exchange. I met with the Attorney General last week. The Attorney General denied that politics or even policy considerations played a part in his letter. Instead, he says that it's his job to make sure that the rule of law is being followed and to defend Oklahomans from what he characterized as a federal overreach by the Obama administration.
We ought to care as Oklahomans, and we ought to care as Americans, that when Congress says that an agency is to do something a particular way, when our legislative branch acts, agencies ought to act consistent with the laws that are passed. And that's whether it's health care, environment, finance, or otherwise. So I would say in response to your question, it is not about policy. Policymakers, Congress, as well as the state of Oklahoma, ought to continuously consider how do we provide better access and how do we do so efficiently. Those are very important policy decisions that need to be made. However, as those policy decisions are made, they need to be done so consistent with the Constitution, and they need to be done so consistent with the laws that are passed by Congress.